Today is the 21st of March, 2023. We'll do our disclaimer, go over our predictions, go over our calls, make some predictions. It's my trading plan for tomorrow, which is March 22nd, 2023. Please follow the rules. And if you do want to order my webinar, please write to me at this address and give me the email address you'd like me to send the webinar to. It saves me a lot of time. Well, here's what we said yesterday. Said it was the pattern with the early high. Tends to be a bullish day with a high in the final hour, and we'd either gap and promptly overtake the high, which we did, yesterday's high, or else trade lower. So all those things played out, and tomorrow should also have the early high. Now that's quite a rally. Before we go any further, we'll take a look at this 5-minute chart. You can see, you can count this as an ABC with good fibs. This is 2.618 times this, but that isn't the only fib relationship at this high. Now, during the day, MEJT said ultimately lower price it would print, but optionally a higher target would print. We got the lower prices first. The optional target was to overtake this line. We did. MEJT said this move was false, would retrace. Said this drop was false, would retrace. All that has played out. We rallied right up to the 50-day moving average. If we can go past it, we could certainly go higher, but usually between the 50 and 200 day moving average, you find resistance and support, so at least it is resistance of some kind. Now, anyone who counts waves has to have an eraser handy. No guarantee it's the right count, but the idea I had was that we had a blue A, blue B, and blue C, which would retest the October low, which I'm assuming is going to hold because they had so much going for it. And we said that blue C would equal half of blue A at 35.1692. Now I've been looking for a place where, if this is A, and we're getting to C, I want a place where B ends, which means C begins, so that magenta C and magenta A have some kind of a fib relationship. And today's high is one of those places. You set this equal to 100%. Here's your 78.6 right here, within a fraction of a point. Now, so we have resistance and we have a good wave balance, but this doesn't have to be the only place the waves balance out. It's just one of the places. And if that's going to work, you have to find some way to count these waves going up, which I didn't find easy. But I came up with this. Could this be a rising wedge? I mean, there's your A, there's your B, C, D, E, and the fibs work. A, C, and E all have good fib ratios, and they stop right at the high. And if that's a rising wedge, you want to see volume drop. And that's a big drop in volume as we go up. So I'm not claiming this is the end of the line for the rally, but I'm saying it could be, and we don't have to risk any money on it till we know more. But we have a bunch of signals calling for resistance here and wave balance. If my target's correct, we don't have to risk money without more confirmation than that. So Wednesday's pattern has the early high, doesn't mean you won't gap down. The FOMC announcement comes out at 2 o'clock tomorrow Eastern Time. Typically leads to big moves. I can't predict the response with a sufficient degree of accuracy. Today's high is a technically significant level because there's wave balance on multiple time frames if my 35.17 cash target is correct. Of course, other numbers might work too, but the longer we trade without going significantly past today's high, the greater the likelihood it's going to work. Now, I personally don't plan to risk money on this until the idea is killed or confirmed. I usually trade little, if at all, on FOMC announcement days. You can get wild swings, and they're too fast for me and too unpredictable for me. But just be aware, if we haven't taken this out by the time of the FOMC announcement tomorrow, and if the response to the announcement is negative, neither of which we know at this time, if that happens, that could be the end of the line for the move up. And we don't have to risk money without more information than that. So tomorrow's pattern has the early high. The longer this high holds, the more suspicious I am it's the end of the line for the rally. And that's today's call.